Hello and welcome to Special Stage for round one of the 2013 Mintex British Historic Rally Championship, the Mid-Wales Stages. Now there's been a bit of a shake-up in historic rallying for 2013, but look at the range of drivers we've got here. Let's have a chat to some of them as they go over the start line. Paul, last year's winners, does this add a bit of pressure going out today?
I don't think so. We only really won because of Ricky's misfortune, so whilst we're going to try and win, I don't think anyone's expecting us to.
What's the policy, get points on the board or go for it?
I think we're going for it today.
Disappointment today that we won. Love to be won, but we've got all, well, as we're standing here freezing cold, it could be a bit slippery and icy, but no, delighted to be here and looking forward to the season.
What's the policy for today? Flat out from the start or get points on the board?
Well, when the red mist comes down, it's flat out, but we'll see what happens. We've got a great first stage to open up on, so we'll go and have a bit of fun, see how we get on.
Now, I don't want to put pressure on you, but you're a lot of people's tip for the win today. Is that what you're aiming for?
Of course I'm aiming for it. You know, Richard Hill's going to give me a good run for my money. That's for certain in category. And Ernie and Terry won't be shy in the Mark IIs. I know they're not in the category, but yeah, Richard Hill is where I got to keep my eyes open for.
You ran David Stokes close last year, but obviously that was in a Mark I. The Mark II this year is a different prospect.
Yeah, different prospect, but we'll still be looking really closely at the points he gets as well. We do have our Mark I in the garage, so we can take a choice of which category we run in, but I think from a championship point of view, the Category 3 might be a better place for the moment.
For 2013, the Mintex British Historic Championship takes a new direction, offering competitors some of the best stages in the UK on both gravel and asphalt, with the emphasis on offering the best value per mile in this back-to-basics, no-nonsense championship. 8 rounds make up the 2013 season, with 5 gravel and 3 asphalt. The crews have to include at least one of each surface in their overall championship campaign, so there's no room for single surface drivers in the British Historic Championship. It all starts here in Wales for round 1, the Mid-Wales Stages. Famous stages such as Sweet Lamb and Haffron make up the miles on this opening round, with modern classics such as Pikes Peak in the mix too. For round 2 we stay in Wales, moving north a little for Rally North Wales. Stages in the Dyffryn Forests are classics for any Welsh rallying fans, and they will be no stranger to the sound of these historic rally cars. We head to England for round 3 and the Pirelli Historic Rally. Classic stages in the infamous Killer Kielder will be waiting to catch out anyone who doesn't treat them with respect, but get it right and they are some of the fastest stages in the championship. Round 4 would be the first of the asphalt rounds for the season, the Jim Clark, and with the return of classic stages such as the Langton Water Splash, the inclusion of this event for 2013 will be a welcome one for competitors and spectators alike. Wales would feature again for round 5 and a return to gravel for the Severn Valley stages. Based around the edges of the Epping range, it features the world-class Croydon and Halfway. For round 6 we move to the asphalt roads of Epping for the Harry Flatter's Historic Rally, a round where knowledge of the stages is rewarded and bravery is often punished. There is often not room for an error on these narrow military roads. Round 7 is the only overseas event in the 2013 calendar, saving competitors multiple trips overseas, but the championship wouldn't be the same without the Irish lanes of the Ulster Historic Rally. Run over 2 days, it offers more miles in a weekend for your money and a great spectacle for the fans. And the championship finally draws to a close 7 months after it started with Rally Sunseeker. Unique stages on the south coast offer a different challenge to the crews left fighting it out in the final round. Back to round 1 though, and just 2 stages face the crews before service, but they would be tricky. Pikes Peak and Mahuran making up 19 stage miles for the crews to tackle first thing. For Dessie Nutt and Geraldine McBride, it would be a good start. They come out of stage 2 and head into service with a 6-second lead in category 2. No problems other than the slippery conditions.
Camber, tight 6 right, 40. Five right, don't cut. Hairpin left. Keep the power on. 100 middle. 2 right and 2 left. Into hairpin right, very long opens, push. Two left, push, 100.
Pikes Peak was slippier this year than it's ever been. I suspect it's been regraded, so it's a bit gravelly on top, and it's a wee bit slippy coming down through the trees at the end of that stage. But the stages are in great shape, they really are.
It would be the slippery conditions that caught out Ricky Profit and Phil Harrison on the Pikes Peak stages, but luckily the pair get away with this spin and only lose a handful of seconds to remain in second place.
Ricky, you said you'd push from the off. How's it going?
Yeah, we pushed a little hard. We spun going up Pikes Peak, but entertained the crowds. But yeah, a bit disappointed. Probably dropped 20 seconds. The stages are absolutely beautiful. Yeah, we had a reasonable run through the last stage, so we'll just see what times are when we get back to service.
Lacking the power of the Porsches ahead, it would be third for Graham Waite and Jill Cotton in the Volvo. The pair great at keeping the power down on the big car, but on these stages getting the speed up in the first place was difficult.
Ricky's taking time out of us, and I would imagine so is Dessie. But it's power, it's dry, it's good for them, so yeah, that's good. I think we'll still be up there, but I think the Porsches will have it quite good for today.
Ricky spun on the first stage and said it was slippery. Are you finding that?
Slippery, but he still took time out of us. So, yeah, it is slippery. We've had 1 or 2 moments, but nothing untoward.
First of the minis in fourth were Clive King and Bob Ward. A small leak from the brake caliper not causing any problems at this stage, the pair just enjoying the fantastic stages on offer. With the car only just complete after a few pre-event issues, it would be a good fifth for Bob Gibbons and Neil Cook, a spin on the Pikes Peak stage, losing the pair a little time though. First of the Imps in 6th place would be Jeff Taylor and Steve Greenhill. A minor issue with the intercom in stage 2 wouldn't help, but overall it was a good start to the event in category 1. A bit of a moment on the last stage wasn't enough to make Nigel Dustin and Finlay McIntosh think any less of the stages, having fun if the power was lacking from the little Mini on the steep Pikes Peak stage. All the big jobs may have been done on the car over the winter for Wyn Jones and Ray Evans, but it was a simple change of intercom battery that was overlooked, and it cost the pair time on stage 1 before it was replaced, 8th overall now in the Cortina. Having competed on the slippery Wydene Rally a few weeks earlier, the stages here wouldn't be a problem for Ken Davies and Alan Jones, having a steady run into 9th place. An enjoyable morning in 10th for Callum Barney and Ron Shannon in the car in its second season following a rebuild from 40 years sat in a barn. Co-driver Ron, the previous driver of the car over 40 years ago. Unfortunately, this opening stage sees us lose Derek Boyd and Peter Scott as they have some unwanted noises coming from the Porsche in stage 1 and call it a day before any real damage can occur. In Category 2, it was all going to plan for Richard Hill and Pat Cooper, the switch to the Mark 1 this season going well, and no real problems to report from the opening stages.
Richard, comfortably fastest on the first stage. Do you think you've repeated that on the second?
I don't know. Didn't feel quite as good through there, but I don't know yet. We'll have to see how we got on.
People are saying it's very, very slippy and very slidey out there.
It was in the last stage. The first stage was really nice, but that one you have to just be a bit careful on some of it. So, but we're here. We're going into the next stage, hopefully. So.
For David Stokes and Guy Weaver, it would be 9 seconds keeping them from the number 1 spot, but at the moment there was no explanation of where those seconds were being lost.
We're about 4.7 down on Richard Hill after the first stage. We had second fastest, he had first fastest. We're 20 up on Ernie, Terry had a puncher. Don't know about anybody else, but we pushed on a bit in there. I don't know whether he's done the same, I don't know. We'll see in a minute.
No mechanical issues or anything like that in the first, just getting back into the swing of it?
Well, got the start of the last stage, went to press the button, and the starter hasn't worked, so we got a bit of a push. That was before the stage start, of course, so just got to put that right. It's nothing to worry about.
It was a good run so far for Roger Matthews and Paul Morris as they settle for third in the category at this time.
Roger, 2 stages in, how's it going?
Slippery in places. Out in the open on the dry stuff, fine, but I might just have the wrong tyres for the slippery bit. I got them, could do with changing halfway through, perhaps. You know, the slippery left-hander up there nearly caught me out, but yeah, but we'll keep plodding on. We're still here. That's something.
A good start too for Jeremy Wells and Ken Bowman in the Escort as they take up 4th at this stage, though they were finding sections of the stages a little bit more slippery than the rest. No problems for Peter McDowell and Derek Davies in the Porsche. They get to grips with the car a little more on the second stage, where they can open up the power of the car properly. For Nick Danks and Martin Corbett, it would be a drop down a few places after a third fastest start on stage 1. They now lie in 6th, a big spin at a hairpin the most likely cause of this time loss. A puncture in this second stage for Sarah Hughes and Emma Hall luckily didn't cost the pair any time, but the pair did lose a little catching a car in the previous stage.
Nasty front right, how far in?
Just on the last jump there, on the line finish.
So you don't think it's affected you?
Not that stage, no. We caught an escort up on Pikes Peak and that cost us a bit, you know, so yeah. Having a good run up to now apart from the flats, which will change before service.
The stages would be slippery for everyone, But for 8th place Wayne Bonza and Rich Aston, it would be a little worrying. The decision to take the air out of the tyres for the following stages was hoped to help the situation a little. A cautious start for Gareth James and Stefan Evans wasn't showing up as they opened a good lead of over 20 seconds on the morning's 2 stages. Clearly they had underestimated their own pace going into round 1.
Two stages in, happy so far?
Oh yeah, brilliant. 2 good stages there, excellent. So we had 2 good runs through, and if we can keep it like that, we'll be happy.
For Shawn Rayner and Declan Deere in the Ultra Home Escort, it would be second, the feeling not quite there with the car and some investigation would be needed in service.
We think we may have got a puncture back there or something on the last mile. We're just going to have a look now, but yeah, we're pushing as hard as we can. See how we get on at service with the times, I guess.
Do you think the punctures cost you much?
No, not really. No, we didn't slow down too much at all. I'm not sure if it is a puncture, but certainly the last mile there, the car didn't feel right. We're just going to have a look now and see what it is.
A change of car this season for Ernie and Will Graham was going well for them so far in 3rd. No time to test the Mark II having changed from the Mark I Escort, but it didn't seem to be holding them back at this stage.
Absolutely brilliant stages, really enjoyable. Don't think we've got our pace right up to the speed yet, we're just getting bedded into it, but it's really enjoyable, absolutely amazing stages.
I've got to ask, how does it compare in a Mark II to a Mark I? Is there a difference?
Oh, just the windows are bigger and you can see out the side better when you're going sideways.
And for Stephen Richards and Scott Smith, it would be 4th. Having not been out for 15 months, things were going to plan, for the car at least. The co-driver, on the other hand, not quite feeling as good as the end of these 2 stages. So, at the end of the first 2 stages, this is how things look at the top of the categories. After service, the crews take on 2 more stages, starting with a blast through the spectator favourite Sweet Lamb stage, this time extended to take in more than just the usual route. In Category 1, the lead would be in doubt for Dessie Nutt and Geraldine McBride, briefly losing the lead on Stage 3 due to a slow puncture, but gaining it back again before service. They now just have a 1.6 second lead going into the final stage.
Dessie, it's obviously going brilliantly for you, leading going into the final stage?
Well, so far, yes. We've been both lucky and unlucky. We had a slow puncture on Sweet Lamb Haffron. Happened about halfway into it, and I thought something had changed, but it never got any worse. So we got to the end of the stage and checked the tyre pressures. It was down to 10, but if it had gone completely flat, we'd have had to stop and change it. So we lost a wee bit of time to Ricky on that stage, but we could have lost a whole lot more.
Putting the pressure on the category leaders would be Ricky Profit and Phil Harrison. No problems in these 2 stages mean they close the gap and go into the final stage ready for a fight to the finish.
Ricky Profit and Phil Harrison from North Wales in the Porsche Carrera 911.
Ricky, lying second overall, happy with how it's going so far?
Yeah, as I said earlier, our spin on the first stage has just dropped a little bit. We thought we'd taken Dessie back on the long one. We took 11 out of him. Going into the last stage, probably just backed off a little too much over the rough stuff. So Dessie's got 7 seconds on us, so it's all to play for on the last stage. Pikes Peak, here we come.
There wouldn't be much change for 3rd place, with Graham Waite and Jill Cotton still suffering a little, being down on power to the 2 crews ahead, but their advantage in that 3rd place was looking like a comfortable one.
I've driven the last 3 stages as fast as I can. I'm on the door handle, so I won't do any better than we've been doing.
Are you managing to get through trouble-free though? No major...
Yeah, no major issues, so I'm happy at the moment. Just one little short stage now, 10 miler or something, so I'll be happy with getting to the finish today. But I've enjoyed it.
No change in fourth either for Clive King and Bob Ward, themselves part of a shorter 45-mile rally, and this at the end of the event for the pair, taking victory in the category in the process. For Jeff Taylor and Steve Greenhill, it would be intercom problems in this loop, but this didn't slow them down too much, and with the problem sorted, they pushed well to keep 5th place.
Jeff Taylor and Steve Greenhill, supporters of the Historic Championship for many years. A fine song.
Nigel Dustin and Finlay McIntosh lie in 6th place in the Mini, but in the 45-mile event of which they were taking part, it would be 2nd place at the finish. And rounding out the top 3 in the 45-mile rally are 7th placed Wyn Jones and Ray Evans in the Cortina GT. A relatively incident-free run for Ken Davies and Alan Jones as they escape one little slide wide in the stage and manage to continue into 8th. Earlier problems for Paul Mankin and Desmond Bell meant to slip right down the order, but they were on the way back up now. Unfortunately though, one stage to go meant it would be too late in the day for the pair. And rounding out the Category 1 top 10 would be Nigel and Henry Webster, getting used to the car stage by stage and settling in well. Unfortunately, this loop of stages sees us lose Bob Gibbons and Neil Cook as they drop down to 12th with a puncture on stage 3 before retiring with a broken engine mounting in the Cortina.
Lovely handbrake turn. Give her the gas, oh, could have missed gears there. Double declutching the old Cortina. Off up the hill.
Bob, sad news. The baby's let you down.
Yes, indeed. The car has. We started this stage here, this complex stage by here, and we know with a big jump, and I noticed the gearbox moved, and I thought it was a gearbox mounting at first. So we carried on, bit of noise, and then 3 mile in, we had a puncture. I drove on after about 2 mile and thought we better change it because we're going to do some damage. I changed it, but obviously we dropped time, 3 or 4 minutes. Changing the puncture, and we got here at service now and found out that the 2 engine mountings are broke, not the gearbox mounting. So yeah, but we live to fight another day.
We would also lose Callum Barney and Rob Shannon as they retire with a blown diff in the Sweet Lamb stage.
Helped by the co-driver, didn't lose momentum. I think that's 10 out of 10 best so far. All those agree, put your hand up. Oh, that's it, we've got
On to Category 2 now, and unfortunately we lose Richard Hill and Pat Cooper before the start of Stage 3.
Richard, obviously we didn't want to see you here this early on, but what's happened?
Just come into service and the guys were checking the car over, and she's developed a bit of a leak on the oil cooler. We've had a look at it and just can't rectify it. We thought we'd sorted it and started it back up, and it was leaking even worse, so it's game over. You can't risk it going on any further, so it's absolutely gutting.
The loss of Hill means that it's a step up to the lead for David Stokes and Guy Weaver. The pair had been chasing Hill down from the start, but this wouldn't be the way they wanted to take the lead. Still, it was now theirs to hold on to, and they set themselves up for maximum points here at round 1.
Get the watch going, somebody, so we can have him on the watch over the hill. Got a few seconds, here we go, restart.
Slippy 5 left, slippy 5 left, slipping. Very tight, 6 left long and narrow. 6 right long, 60. Stay 2 left over junction. Push 4 left continues, 8 over the jumps.
Richard Hill retired in service, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that actually left us leading the rally going out of here. Ernie's taken 8 out of me in the last 2 stages, 4 on each one. Gareth's taken 11 out of me and another 8. And I didn't think he should have taken that much. And I just said, is this thing revving flat out? And we haven't got full throttle. We altered it when we came in because we had a few other problems, and we've not got full throttle. So hence a few seconds, I hope.
So it's maybe gone from a case of just sort of easing a home to maybe having to push a little bit on this last.
Well, I shan't catch Gareth now. It's only 9 miles. You won't take 13 or 14 seconds out of him in 9 miles, no matter what I do. So we go for the category now. Yeah. You know, we get second overall quite easily, and we get the category. And I've come here to get the category because that's what historic rallying's about.
Change at the top would of course mean movement for everyone below, and it's a step up to second for Peter McDowell and Derek Davies. No problem, and finding the stages to be a lot faster and enjoyable. A problem with the starter and the car cutting out in the Sweet Lamb stage was enough to lose Jeremy Wells and Ken Bowman a little time, but they were happy enough to head into service in 3rd place now. And for Wayne Bonza and Rich Aston, it would be 4th. No problems at all for the pair as they get back into the swing of things this season. Unfortunately, we also lose Sarah Hughes and Emir Hall in stage 3, a shame as the pace had been good in the Saab up to this point. We also lose Nick Danks and Martin Corbett in stage 3 in the Escort. Not much would change in Category 3 apart from the advantage, with Gareth James and Stephen Evans opening out a 42-second lead now going into the final stage. The win was now in their favour, but could they keep calm under pressure on this final stage?
Left long, keep in, pull it back. 4 left long and 4 right. 4 left here, continues for 150 and tightens and back off into 4 up. Pull it back, back off here into hairpin right. Continues long, 4 left continues long. 4 left continues long. To 4 left here to hairpin right. And 3 left. 3 right. 9 left. Pull it back, 9 left, and you're done. Well done, 9 left, you're finished. Okay.
Tyres are going off now, are they?
Huh?
Tyres are going off slowly now, are they?
At the beginning of the day, was it what you were expecting, or did you think you could be right up there at the top?
The grip, I was a bit cautious in the beginning because the grip level was changing, but I got the feel of it now, and if we can just keep it together, and hopefully we'll have a good run through stage 5 and get back to Newtown and see where we are.
It would be second still for Ernie and Will Graham, still needing time to get used to the car. It would be a good run so far, although they would have to watch the pace in the final stage to hold off any advance from behind.
Ease up. 55, 56, 57. Now.
And square left. And 6 right. And caution, 2 right continues, tightens into 5 right. 2 right continues, tightens into 5 right, tightens drop outside. And square left on cut. And 3 right. Into 3 left on cut, 40. 3 right long, tightens. And 4 left plus, 100. 1 left plus long, 150. 5 right half long, don't cut. 60. Turn square left plus over finish. 100 through post. That's it.
Oh, I think we've
pushed up pretty hard there. Hopefully our time was a wee bit better than other ones. I just think we're getting into more of a rhythm, but
I think you're going a bit better there.
See what the clock says. We were a bit off in the first last two stages. We were really pleased. We were faster than David Stokes in both of them. He's usually our benchmark time, so lovely to take a bit of time off him. Unfortunately, Gareth James was still just a tad faster than us. He's in our category. It would have been nice to have been right on him, but looks like this time we're going to finish second to him if we get through the next one okay. But there's a good few more rallies to come.
Still seeing plenty of the stages through the side windows?
Oh yeah, those stages here are absolutely brilliant. There must be some of the best stages in the world, and in the last couple we've built into a really good rhythm and just carrying a lot more speed.
For Shawn Rayner and Declan Deere, it would be the ideal start to the championship. The pace was there and they were now pushing Graham into the final stage. Just 5 seconds stand between them and a second place finish.
Very nicely done there, Shawn. Up the hill. Oh, he's down. He's a couple of seconds down. He's lost a bit already. 03, 04, 05, 06.
Shawn, plenty of positives from today. You must be happy with how it's going.
I'm very happy actually, yeah. We've been pushing hard all day. No real problems apart from the last mile of the second stage. I think we had a tyre delaminate, but yeah, it's going very well. We're pushing very hard. Declan's been superb on the notes and the Ultra Home car is performing brilliantly. 100% reliable so far.
You're not being left miles behind Gareth James, and he's running a full house BDA engine, so you must be really, really pleased with that.
I am really pleased actually. It's surprising what the old Pinto can do. So we sort of pedal it on as quick as we can, and as I said before, we're trying to give the BDOs a run for their money.
And for Stephen Richards and Scott Smith, it would be fourth, despite the co-driver still being sick as often as he had chance. So, with just one stage remaining, here's a reminder of how the top of the categories look. Just one more stage remaining for the crews then, a 10-mile run through the long Pikes Peak and Maheran stage before heading back to the finish in Newtown. So in Category 1 we've already said goodbye to those doing the shorter 45-mile rally, so that leaves some changes in the overall category results. And in 7th we see the singer of Nigel and Henry Webster make the finish of this tricky opening round, second in the Class 2. A weekend to forget for Paul Mankin and Desmond Bell as they managed to get back up to 6th, but that's as far as they can go. Not the result they wanted from round 1, but a finish at least and some points on the board to take to round 2. Some advance up the results with the loss of those doing the shorter rally now for Ken Davies and Alan Jones as they bring the big Volvo home in 5th. It would be a great finish for Jeff Taylor and Steve Greenhill as they bring home the Imp in the lead of the class and a fantastic 4th overall too. Lots of fun along the way seemed to be their secret to a good result. A cautious start for Graham Waite and Jill Cotton meant they couldn't advance any further than their 3rd place. The speed in the afternoon was there, but it just meant they kept a steady 3rd and not advanced onto the top 2.
Graham, end of the rally, happy with how it's gone?
Yes, we were very slow out the box this morning because I haven't done anything since October. But it came together at the last 3 stages we beat Dessie, so we were on the pace, and I think Ricky only beat us by about 5 on the very last stage, so that bodes well for the next round. So we've sort of got my finger out of it now, so hopefully.
With the lead swapping hands a few times during the day, it would be an unfortunate last-minute drop into 2nd for Dessie Nutt and Geraldine McBride. They hold the lead for most of the day, but it was always in doubt with the similar car of Profit hot on their heels.
It's always nice to win, but at the end of the day, we're here for a bit of fun, and today was a lot of fun. Those are fantastic stages, and with a great battle with Ricky, and you can't ask for, well, I suppose the only other thing you could have is the win.
The car looked to have behaved itself. It looks like it's got round in one piece and no real problems.
Yes, it's been very, very good today. We're very happy with it. No problems.
So that means our round 1 category winners are indeed Ricky Profit and Phil Harrison. Their last stage push was enough to secure them the win and the maximum category points from this opening round.
Ricky, Phil, Category 1 winners on the first round of the 2013 Mintex British Historic Rally Championship. Doesn't get any better than that, does it?
No, and I was saying to Phil on the way back to the last control that this is probably the best win because it's been so close at the top. We were a second down on Dessie going into the last stage, and it was all to play for. And we had to spin in the first stage, which dropped a little bit of time, and then we'd had some duff times coming through on our cards, but yeah, it really was a fantastic win, and we're really delighted.
It looked an incredible ding-dong battle at the top, really trading seconds here, there and everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, normally only see that in World Championships, but yeah, no, it was fantastic, and I'm so pleased Dessie's really back on form, and yeah, it looks as though it's going to be a good battle for the rest of the season.
Nothing changed in Category 2 on this final stage, with Wayne Bonza and Rich Aston taking the 4th place in the end. No problems to report, but the pair would need to up their game going into the next round. The final place on the podium was secured for Jeremy Wells and Ken Bowman in the Escort, the pair just over 20 seconds behind second place at the end of the event, showing the pace was there. Maybe a couple more stages and it could have given a different result for them, but for now, third was a great finish. Taking the runners-up place this weekend in Category 2 would be Peter McDowell and Derek Davies. The pair had a good run over the final stage to hold off any advance from the chasing crews. But at the end of the opening round, it would be maximum points for David Stokes and Guy Weaver as they take a category win. Having held on to the overall lead for part of the day, it would be the acceleration problems that dropped them some time. But the category win is what's important for the points in the championship this season.
David, not an overall win today, but a Cat 2 win and the points you needed on the board.
Yeah, Cat 2 win is what we came for. Overall would have been nice, but we've had a problem with the accelerator today. It's even playing up now, so we're not getting full throttle. So Gareth James has gone past us this afternoon on the last 3 stages, I think. The first 2 we were ahead of him, but if you can't get full throttle, you're not going to be on your best. But, you know, we've pushed on as best as we can. There's something wrong inside up in the pedal box. I don't know quite what it is.
In terms of the rally itself, guys, some incredible stages out there. I suppose you're head down most of the time looking at the notes, but did you get a chance to enjoy it?
Yeah, a few open bits in Pikes Peak and Maheron and that, really fast flowing and good condition as well, even on the second run through. You know, the stages are barely marked, no deep ruts or anything on the second run through, and that's after 140 cars have been through, you know, first thing this morning. So yeah, we love the stages around here.
Can I expect to see you both out in the next round and pushing hard for that overall win that time?
Without question. Without question. We'll be there.
There would be a little change in Category 3, but not for 4th place Stephen Richards and Scott Smith. They continue as they had done all day to keep hold of that place and take the finish and the points at round 1. There would, however, be a change for Ernie and Will Graham as they dropped back into third. The pair tried their best to hold on to second place, but it just wasn't to be in the end.
Ernie, absolutely on it from start to finish today, and loads of sideways action to boot.
Yeah, really enjoyed the stages. They're just classic escort territory, and we had a good run. We're a bit too slow off the starting blocks, the first two. The last three, I think, we had a pretty good run, and we're thereabouts. Not just quite as fast as Gareth James, unfortunately. He's got us in this one. So, but it was a good run and trouble-free, and really, really enjoyed it.
Plenty of points towards the championship, and is it looking like you can build a championship challenge off the back of this?
Yeah, hopefully we can. We've got a lot of events coming up that we're quite familiar with as well, particularly the tarmac ones. We always enjoy those. But the gravel's not bad either, a bit more sideways on the gravel.
That final stage push for Shawn Rayner and Declan Deere sees them move up to second place, the result getting them some good points to take into round 2 and showing they were ones to watch for the season ahead.
Continues for 100, Titans don't cut, 60. Second gear. Care, 2 left over small crest into hairpin right. 3 left. Into 5 right opens long, 150 up middle. Three left, 2 right.
Shawn, we're at the end of the first round of the 2013 Mintex British Historic Rally Championship. You look absolutely delighted with the way it's gone.
I'm extremely delighted. Everything has gone really well today. It's all clicked into place really nicely. The car's been superb, Declan's been superb, tyres have worked well, and Ultra Home have done a sterling job for us today.
But it's a great win for Gareth James and Stefan Evans. The category had been theirs all day, and it was a well-deserved result for the pair. The only trouble now was the pressure would be on for a repeat result as the crews head north for round 2, Rally North Wales.
Gareth, first win of 2013 in the very first round. It doesn't get any better than that.
No, it's brilliant. Really enjoyed the event, and kudos to Richard Hill this morning. He set fastest time on stage 1 and 2, and unfortunately for him he had mechanical failure. But, no, we had good runs for the rest of the day, and the stages are brilliant. And well, yeah, what more can I say?
Tell us about the car. It looks amazing, very dusty, but it looks like it hasn't gone wrong for you at all today.
No, that's right. We haven't put a mark on it this time. Earlier back in the month in Wydene we came off and put a bit of damage on it, but no, this time it's great, and the Pirelli tyres worked brilliant as well. And I got to say a big thank you to my sponsors, Lawrence Landfill and Mason Brothers. So yeah, really good.
So with round 1 complete, here's a reminder of the final results.
So that's it for round 1 of the 2013 British Historic Rally Championship. Gareth James walks away with an overall win. He'll be back out on the North Wales stages in a couple of weeks' time, and you can catch all the action here on Special Stage on Motors TV. Until then, goodbye for now.